Hello and welcome to Risk Easy, where risk management is made easy. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a risk assessment. There are two ways in which you can initiate a new risk assessment. The first method is when you are creating an event, and I have shown you through those steps in a previous tutorial. The second way is via the risk assessment section in the main navigation panel here. So we've now opened Manage Risk Assessments, and you can see on this page is a list of risk assessments that have already been written, and I can search for those using our handy search bars here. I'll just point out to you our tags area. Now, tags help you to create order in your risk assessments as these risk assessments will actually build up in number as you develop your system. And you can see that at my site, I already have 9 pages of risk assessments in the system. So helpful tags might help you describe your target age group or the type of activity that it is. It might be a game or a more general type activity. And using tags, you've got a quick visual reference when scanning what's already in Risk Easy. So for example, I can look at this activity called three-legged race. Look at my tags, it lets me know that it's a game for children under 12. So already I know what that risk assessment is generally about. And if I would like to read it, I just press the magnifying glass here. But today we want to create a new risk assessment. So I press the plus sign here and it takes me to the Create a New Risk Assessment page. And you can see clearly formatted on this page is the setup for your new risk assessment. And all you need to do now is write in the details as required. Name your risk assessment, tag it with a couple of tags that will help you identify it easily and quickly, describe what your activity will be doing, and scrolling down here, this is our risk matrix. And this is where you're going to list your hazards one by one, assess the risk probability and severity in relation to that hazard on the left. In the middle section is your very important control measure or measures that you are implementing to eliminate or mitigate your risk exposure. And finally on the right, here is where you document your reassessment of the risk probability and severity now that your control measures have been implemented. You will need to tap Add Row to add each hazard and its associated risk assessment. And don't forget, when you've finished your work, press Submit and that will save it to the system. Now in my browser, what I've done is I've opened a risk assessment that has already been written up because I wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like when it's completed. So here in the top section, you can see that's the title of my risk assessment. I've tagged it with the word General, and this describes what's occurring in that activity. Scrolling down, we can see the risk matrix in which each of the hazards has been identified and assessed in terms of risk probability and severity, both before and after the appropriate control measures are in place. So come with me as we look at this last hazard here, just for an example. Now you can see that the likelihood of damage occurring to cars in our car park, I've assessed it as being unlikely, even though it's highly undesired, with a moderate level of severity if I don't make any effort to mitigate the hazards and risks. However, what I've done is I've identified a number of control measures such as speed limit signage, marked car park lines, and lighting to control the behaviour of Sunday drivers in our car park. I've then reassessed the risk probability and severity in light of my control measure, and that's come down to probably having a rare probability of occurring with minor consequences thanks to my control measures. So that's my completed risk assessment. I can edit at any time using the edit tool up here, make my changes, remembering of course to press submit once I've finalised my changes to make sure that they're saved to the system in the updated form. I will remind you that we have definitions related to our risk matrix in terms of definitions of the levels of probability and severity, and those are easily looked up by tapping this button here. By tapping this button here, just close that off. You can also see your risk matrix over here in the black panel, but I find that this is really handy, tapping this one as I'm doing my work. So I press submit to save my changes. So that is how you write a risk assessment in Risk Easy. I hope this has helped you. We do have more tutorials available, so please have a look at these. And don't forget, we have a help function built in by tapping the question mark at the top of each page. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.